We welcome you back to For the Record. Perhaps you have heard the term microgrid before. Well, that is what powers Pittsburgh International Airport. And today we learn more about how it works and how it will contribute to the airport's future. Happy to be joined by Morgan O'Brien, the CEO of Hope Utilities. Formerly, you were the CEO for a long time of Peoples Gas here in Pittsburgh. And I know a point of pride for you was the microgrid, which powers the entire airport.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it not only, I'll say for others, was an opportunity to see a different energy model, right? Something unique and different. But I think it actually helped redefine the Pittsburgh airport as being innovative, forward-looking, and I think, that's a big part of the airport story now, too.
Microgrid is a fancy term. How does it all work, though?
Yeah, it was simple. The history was, Ryan, the airport had a contract to drill gas here at the airport, and so the airport got paid a royalty. For people that lived in the community that had to pay for airline flights, those royalties helped offset the cost of the airport and eventually paid off all the debt that we had when US Air left and we didn't have a lot of airplanes here, right? So it solved a big problem for us. And so the idea was we went to the airport and Christina specifically to say, what if rather than just getting paid a royalty, we use that gas and other energy forms to create your own electricity right here on site, so that if you think of it conceptually, no energy comes from outside the Pittsburgh airport. You have gas coming out of the ground, you have sunlight falling from the sky, and that's your sole source of energy. And we built it so that lights would never go out.
In such an attractive concept that other cities, other airports have come here to survey it and give it a look.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of the airline industry, right? Imagine the day Atlanta, Charlotte, power goes out. The whole country is a gridlock, right? It's not just the airport. It's a big, every airport's a piece of a puzzle. So to sit here in Pittsburgh and say our power is never going to go out, and we're doing it in a way that's environmentally responsible, and it's saving us money, which makes us more competitive. It's like check, 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 right?
I would imagine, too, back to your days with Peoples Gas, that was a way to introduce a different type of concept where people think of a gas company and just the gas industry itself. This was certainly an extension of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think historically we all grew up, we said we need gas in the wintertime to heat our homes. Well, hospitals use gas in the wintertime to heat their hospitals. Airports use gas to heat the airport, right? But this was to say we've got all this natural gas, this incredible resource here in this region. How should we think differently to take advantage of it? And it was, it took people like Christina and others that said, let's think differently, let's look differently. And all of a sudden now we created a model that not only airports are looking at the microgrid here, industry's looking at it, right? Because it's resiliency's become a key word that we never growing up knew what that meant. What it means is your lights don't go out. And if you think of artificial intelligence, you think of where our economy's going in this country, power never going out is essential. Big data centers, just like airports and hospitals, they don't want power to go out ever.
Is this completely transferable to the modernization program here in the new terminal, or will there need to be enhancements made?
Yeah, so the capacity that was built here at the airport was almost double the need of the existing airport, right? And the leverage of the asset is we're actually able to grow it. So we've got 10,000 solar panels. We can increase the number of solar panels, right? The amount of gas that flows here is enough to feed even more. So it has a lot of, I'll say, growth potential. But the growth is not just the project at the airport, right? It's all the projects that Christine and her team have masterminded on the board, right? We've got Neighborhood 91. We've got innovative projects going on at this airport to look at capturing coal methane and converting it into jet fuel. There's so many things that are happening here at the airport, more than just planes landing, and the microgrid is an important ingredient to all that.
And on that note, and to follow up on that, you're a longtime leader in the business community here. How much of a difference maker or separator will these new enhancements, the modernization program, the new terminal, how much of a difference will that make for Pittsburgh?
I think as just a resident in this community, the airport's an important asset to everyone here, right? But as a business leader and trying to think about economic development, what brings business here, what keeps business here, a vibrant airport that's efficient and effective is a critical ingredient. When people are saying, where do I want to build my plant? Where do I want to send my employees? An airport's a really, really important ingredient. And the part that most of us don't even think about is the cargo part of the airport, right? That's an important, from a businessman perspective. We have a vibrant, growing cargo airport here, and all that feeds just by being more efficient, being more responsible, and at the end, offering, I'll say, innovative solutions to businesses. That's who the airports become.
Keep it right here because we have a look at what's coming up on next week's For the Record. That's after this break.